Supposed to be preserved for 100 years. Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
There it is. There she is. She's right here in our storage room.
Crazy.
It's a little yellowed, but I think
really?
that's what happens. No, we just
Wow.
had
I
baby
remember that
faces.
moment like it was yesterday.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah. Our Unity candle?
Yeah.
I remember our Unity candle. Do you remember our Unity candle?
Almost a disaster.
Oh, my word.
It's amazing that you remembered the lighter was there or knew the lighter was there. I had no idea it was
And
there.
then I asked somebody, do you blow out the side ones? And they're like, yes. Oh, I asked Jess. I was like, do you blow these out on stage?
Ginger and Jeremy here, and we are filming our 20th episode.
Let's go.
Congrats, babe. We made it to 20. I don't know if that's a milestone to celebrate, but we've got 20 episodes in the bag.
So
and
fun.
we are still here in our makeshift studio where this is going to become beautiful. In fact, I just got off the phone with the painter. We are doing oatmeal Roman clay paint.
There you go.
It's going to be incredible. They're going to cover up those windows. And I had never seen Roman clay. Well, maybe I'd seen it, but I didn't know what it was. Someone explained to me the Roman clay texture. And I think it's going to look cool. And I think tomorrow our furniture arrives.
Tomorrow?
Yeah. So
That's so quick.
We're cruising. We got this
Wow.
thing. So hopefully soon, maybe the next time you see us on the podcast, we will be in really comfy chairs and couches.
That actually would be nice.
These are our dining room chairs. Right
They
now.
are. But I feel like, yeah, in pregnancy, you can only sit so long in something that's not as comfy.
Well, then let's get right to the episode
Let's do it.
so we don't have to make you wait around.
Let's jump in.
All right. So
go.
last week we talked about 8 years of marriage. So we thought it would be fun if we watched some of our wedding because, mind you, we've got a lot of our dating or courtship, and
Wrong word.
wedding and
Use
all
the right
that
word.
on video. And I've got to tell you, it's a little cringe, some of it.
Yeah. Just like, I mean, I hate listening to my own voice anyways.
Gosh.
After I did my audiobook, I was doing my audiobook for People Pleaser like last week or whatever. And the guy was like, do you go back and listen to your audiobook after it's done? I was like, oh no, heck no. Just as far away as I can be from hearing my own voice.
Well, remember
It's
when
weird hearing your own voice.
you would have your, goodness, what do you call it? Answering machine.
Oh, yes.
And then
Yes.
on your cell phone, you would do an answering machine kind of vibe. And I remember hearing my own voice on that and thinking, goodness, is that what I sound like?
That's so funny.
It's tough. But I'll tell you what, Ginge, going back even 8 years, 9 years to when we were dating and doing the show, man, why was I talking like that? I was in a weird little phase of, I don't know why I talked so like, I don't know. It was weird.
So
it's
spiritual. You
cringe.
were extra spiritual.
Okay,
Jeremy,
so
with your
part of it,
voice.
honestly, low key. So you came out of like some cult like teachings that had some influence on you. I was in an environment for years where it was like hyper spiritual, and the more reflective and contemplative you were, the more mature and spiritual. And I think that played into it. If I go back and listen to my old sermons,
Yeah.
I was very...
You're holding back a little bit because you're a very fun person, and there's a time to laugh.
Yeah.
There's a time to cry.
But there was almost
But
like this
it's like you
put
just,
on.
Yes, it was like almost
Yeah.
bit of a show.
And it
Not
wasn't a show in the sense of like
No,
trying to
you're
be
not
manipulative.
acting, but I'm just saying like your voice, like you were, your voice
It
was
was
different
just
because of that.
The way I would describe it is like being very
Measured.
measured and serious.
Yes, and how you think through
and
reflective,
reflective, and it was
but it was
almost
outside of your personality too.
totally.
That's it.
And so I don't know why that was a thing, but it's super cringe looking back at some of the
Yeah.
shows and going, man, what was I talking like? And then
Me too.
And the fun part is you get to look back and go, man, I've changed a lot. But then the bad part is knowing, well, this is going to live forever.
True.
I feel bad for kids that are being raised on social media now.
Yikes.
Could you imagine if they were putting their lives on social media? Well, here's the thing. I'm talking to the girl who grew up on TV as a kid, but I was thinking just for like normal people.
Just on social media.
I'm glad
with like their,
I don't have those years
It's-
online because
yeah.
you can't take them down.
For sure.
But you do have a lot of those years on
Well, yeah. It's okay.
in your Puritan prairie dresses.
It's okay though. I don't like, I look back at that and I'm like, yeah, that was just a stage.
Yeah, as a stage.
So I'm not bothered by it.
You know what? Everybody goes through stages, and we're not proud of all of them.
Some are worse than others.
Some are worse than others. Yeah. So you want to judge? You want to judge us? Well, you got stages too. Just because they're not recorded, it doesn't mean they didn't exist.
True. That's a good
Oh
point.
man. Okay. So take us back before we watch some of this show. The wedding. What do you think of when you think of our wedding? Getting prepped for it.
Goodness gracious. I think I was like getting ready to move to Laredo, which was huge because I had never lived outside of my home. I'd never lived outside of Arkansas, and I was moving away from everything that I knew. So I was getting ready for that. I had bins under my bed of like my things that I started to collect from around the house. And I don't know. And then leading up to the wedding, like all that rush of like getting everything ready to move was a bit of work. But then slowing down closer to the wedding time, I had a lot of space because people had done so much work for me. My mom's best friend, Cindy, she did a ton of work getting our decorations ready, all of that, making it super special. And I didn't have the stress on me of having to like make sure everybody was doing everything and like the coordinator was on it. Like I literally was so hands off that it was a very relaxing time. And I was just excited for us to start our lives together, and also just anticipating the wedding day and all the friends and family that were coming in for that, getting ready. I was looking forward to the rehearsal dinner because I feel like at our wedding, it's just so big, like we've talked about before, that the rehearsal dinner is that time for us to be able to spend with those that we love. And so your grandma, oh my word, I loved her. Like she's the best thing ever. And I remember when she came to our rehearsal dinner, she tasted the pasta because she apparently she was so funny about her sauce recipe and didn't really want to like give it out or whatever.
Right.
But she gave us this sauce recipe that was like, I don't know how many times they had to quadruple the thing, but basically like so many times to where she was like, by the time she tasted it, she was like, this is not my recipe.
Yeah.
Because she gave it to us for
Well,
the
she also
rehearsal
gave
dinner.
us a recipe with measurements, but
She doesn't measure.
She doesn't
She would
measure.
never measure.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. Like,
So she
would never
tried to measure. I
anything.
think she actually she measured for the first time ever to try to prepare that recipe.
Yeah,
But it was
very
all
sweet.
just natural, second
but she
nature
told
for
us
her.
because she was like, "Oh, it's not my recipe."
Yeah.
You know, and she tasted it. We're like, "Thanks for being so honest."
But
That
it
was
was
really
delicious.
cute. It was so good.
Yeah, it was
it
so
was
good.
so good. It just.
But you know what?
she's
There's
just
something
particular
beautiful about
it.
and pure about that is, whoever's gonna try to replicate grandma's recipe
can't.
understands you can't. It's grandma.
Because it's grandma.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it was an incredible meal. And,
Yeah, it was really good.
Grandma enjoyed it, and it was good to have Maga there.
Oh,
Felicity
so
will still
sweet.
just randomly say, I miss Maga.
oh,
She'll be on her bed and
it's so sweet.
talk about Maga in heaven.
Yeah.
Remind her where she is. But yeah, I remember that leading up to you made the trip. I think it was 10 hours, right?
I'm trying to think.
From
11. It was 11. And I think I drove my car. Now I'm like crying again because I can't stop a pregnancy.
How did we not get tissues?
Where are tissues? We need some here. But anyhow, yeah, our drive to Texas though was like 11 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And it was crazy because my car was packed full. It's like a hatchback style. It was a Venza, and it was packed full of like my stuff. And there was Rufus.
Oh yeah, Rufus was sticking his head out.
Rufus is my deer. He's my buck.
Mm-hmm.
I accidentally hit him when I was driving to my sister's
Jessa was giving birth to Spurgeon.
Yes. She was like, come over. I'm in labor. So I started driving over there, and I hit a buck. I was only going like 35, coming out of like a S curve, and jumped right in front of me. And I couldn't even slam on my brakes because it was like literally in front of me. I just kind of like ran over half of it. And then they came. My brothers came. I called them. They put it out of its misery because it needed
Yeah.
to be taken care of.
You're going into a lot of detail here on this.
Well, I'm just saying, this is how Rufus. I'm telling you about my only taxidermy.
Yeah. It's
This
just a
is
lot
why.
of I'm just saying it's
It's
a lot of detail.
People need to understand because I know some people are not going to love it.
I didn't know they had to put him out of his misery. I'm just saying there was a lot. There's a
So,
lot. There's
but
a lot
my
there.
friends, this is the thing. My friends were in town. This is another part of the story. They were in town from Mississippi. This is important. They were in town from Mississippi,
great.
and they took the deer. They took it, and then they came back 3 months later or something, and mounted it on my pillar. Because my bed was next to a pillar. They mounted it there. And they were like, let's see how long Ginger leaves this. Because they know I'm not the biggest animal lover. I will be honest. I'm okay with them. But I'm not I don't want to have my own animals here.
What does it say about you that you are more comfortable with dead animals than live animals?
That's not good. It's not that. I don't want them to be dead. I just don't want them
to be alive.
To be in my house.
Yeah, alive in your house.
So, yeah, if they're outdoor animals, it's better. I'm good with that. But not inside my house. But anyhow.
Unless they're dead.
Whatever. So my friends, they came and mounted it above my bed, literally. So when you wake up, it's right there. And they were like, how long is she going to leave it? I left it until I got married. And then I took it to Texas. And then I brought it here.
It's downstairs in the office.
Yeah. So that's Rufus. He's
what I like about
traveled
Rufus
with me.
is that everyone just assumes that I shot him.
I don't know why they assume that.
Yeah, it's built-in misogyny, but I think I just let them know, oh no, that's my wife's deer. And they're surprised, and then I go, yeah, she killed it with her Suburban.
I went turkey hunting once.
Think is a
turkey
rifle,
hunting once as well, and we almost got the turkey. This is funny.
Girl, that was the first time you ever wore pants.
It was actually. It was. I don't know why.
Because they didn't have any camouflage skirts. They didn't have any jean camouflage skirts.
You know what? That's interesting because out of all the things that we did, that would have not been even necessary. I was literally sitting in the woods, sitting on the ground.
Yeah, I feel like somebody should make some camo skirts. That could be a good business.
Let's go for it. So anyhow, with that though, I was sitting in the woods with a guy, and his nickname. Get this. His nickname was Spook, and spooked our turkey that I almost got. I almost got us a turkey, and he decided to go put out the decoy because he's like, I don't think they're coming. We'd been there all morning. We were up way too early in the morning without coffee, I'm pretty sure. And it was a little sad. And then we go out there, we sit out there for hours, and then Spook's like, I think I hear something coming. Let me go put out the decoy. It's going to draw it closer. And when he did, he put out the decoy and he made a noise. And then he was like, oh no, I saw it. It was coming anyways. I spooked it. Spooked what would have been my turkey.
It's unbelievable. Spook. Yeah. Living up to his
name. Could have been eaten real good at Thanksgiving.
So how did we get to Spook? Oh, because
that would have been
was in the car.
Rufus was an accident, and I felt bad.
Gosh, it would be cool to have a stuffed turkey. Sweet,
but yes.
You need to get a bear or something.
I mean, stuffed. I was just thinking stuff for Thanksgiving.
But, oh, okay.
You know,
I was thinking stuff like taxidermy.
Yeah,
so that trip down with Rufus, and I remember that. It was that Toyota Venza was jam-packed with stuff.
It was. I mean, those hatchbacks, you can fit a lot.
They got space.
They're good.
But yeah, that was that a week before we got married? You moved down to Laredo?
I think it was before that. Maybe I moved
before?
my stuff. Yeah, I moved my stuff early.
What about the day before the wedding? Because the first video I want us to react to from the wedding day is of you in your wedding dress, the reveal. Not to me, but just I think
to my mom,
to your mom or something,
grandma's, sisters.
But what about the day before? What were you feeling? Were you nervous?
Yeah, I think I was just I don't know. Time passes so strange when you're approaching a big event, something that so significant as your wedding day. It passes so slowly getting there, and then once it's there, it's everything's triple fast forwarded, you you can't slow it down. So I feel like I was already at that stage. Everything felt like a blur. But I remember that moment where it was my mom, my sisters, my grandma, they all went over across the street to the house, and they brought out the wedding dress, and I got to see it. That was the first time I think I had seen it fully completed. Renee at Renee's Bridal in Kentucky. If any of you are looking for a wedding dress, like, she is the best.
She's unbelievable.
She is so skilled, so talented. She has the gift of determining what size you are too. So like, she doesn't have to take measurements half the time.
Yeah, it's incredible.
So like, she's like, she said, it's kind of a bad thing because I'll be walking through the store and I'm like, she's a size 8, she's a size 12, she's a size 0, she's a size this. Like, she's just able to do that. So she didn't measure me. I went there. She saw a picture of me, and then she had like, later she took measurements of like the dress for like length of what we wanted for the train. But she's just so good.
Yeah, Renee's good.
And her dresses are next level. So she brought this dress out, and I went to try it on, and I was just like, hopefully everything fits. Like, hopefully it's good. And it was perfect. It was everything that I wanted.
Well,
and everything you wanted.
Oh, I love that dress. 13-foot train. So here is, I want you to react to this. This is you coming out with your wedding dress on, and it's the reveal. So watch this. Hit play there.
Okay.
Okay, where do we go?
This is on the wedding day.
Yep.
The day is going pretty well so far. I think everything's, of course we're running on Duggar time, but that's usual and we expected that.
Running on Duggar time.
That's a thing.
Turns out well, but
which
so far,
basically means we're just always late.
Yeah.
You guys did amazing on the dress. Thank you so much.
All of us bridesmaids this morning have been rushing around, getting ready, a little late, getting pictures taken here. We're, I think, an hour behind schedule. So we're hoping the wedding will still start on time.
Scrunch your shoulders in tight and hold your bouquets even.
If I could, I'm gonna have to boom up just a little higher because I'm sitting really, really wide. Thank you. Seeing the whole top of the church. Thank you. Everyone smiling right here. Good. 1, 2, 3. Excellent, ladies. Very good.
Word,
1, 2, 3.
Johanna's
Good,
so
good, good.
tiny.
Beautiful. Fantastic.
That's
1, 2,
crazy.
3.
Ginger picked out the bridesmaids' dresses, and she asked us what shade we wanted, but not necessarily a specific color. They were trying to figure out colors to look how it would look on stage and not having similar colors next to each other, and so that's kind of how she did it. But she did an amazing job getting all of us in something that we would prefer.
Everyone look at here. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. Make sure everyone's doing great. Excellent. 1, 2, 3. Scoot back just a
All the
nice.
fall vibes.
Everyone looks amazing. I think the color schemes have really come together, and there was some, like at the beginning, we were a little bit nervous, but it's really worked out, and I think Ginger loves it.
Who's that laugh again? Excellent. 1, 2, 3. Beautiful.
Because Ginger's train is so long, there are actually going to be
That train
3 of
is
us
so
handling the train. So Jill and Jana are also going to help out.
Awesome. Awesome. Good. 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 Excellent.
Ginger seems to be very calm. She doesn't seem to be very
She
nervous.
seems to be
At least
very
we can't
calm.
tell. I'm sure there are nerves on the inside and excitement, anticipation. It's a really exciting day.
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
That was a sweet moment.
We're an hour and 20 minutes away from.
That was sweet. I don't know how much we want to watch on here, but I remember like walking out there and seeing all the girls in their dresses, just all of us ready to like, for me to walk down the aisle, and it was crazy. What a sweet moment with all my sisters, and yeah, can't believe even just seeing Josie as the flower girl, so tiny, and she's 14 now. Like,
Yeah.
that's wild.
And
My
Johanna.
youngest sister is Josie, and then Johanna was like, she was a junior bridesmaid, and she was just like so short. Now she's like towering over half of us. It's crazy.
How did that feel? You obviously a wedding dress is a big deal, right? Say
Yeah.
yes to the dress and all that. Did you feel? I mean, what was it when you put it on finally and walked out?
Oh,
what was
yeah.
that feeling?
It's strange because like you don't think of yourself as the bride, you know, like it's such a crazy experience putting on the dress, and it's like, wait, it's my turn now. Like, how is it already my turn? Even though you wedding plan, you do all those things, once you put that gown on and you know you're about to walk down the aisle, it is just crazy. Like the sweetest thing ever. Also, Renee, she put a little special touch on the dress. over the heart, she put like a piece of my mom's wedding dress, and it was like my mom and grandma's wedding dress that they, that they had. And she made it into a little heart and put it like inside the dress over my heart. It was really sweet. So like there were some little touches that she showed me right before I walked down the aisle. My wedding dress is right there.
I know, because
I think you can like pick it up like in
our makeshift studio.
Isn't it? It's our storage room. So this actually works out really well. So it's preserved for like 100 years. Let's actually see. You can't open, but you can open it. I think it will show you.
Wedding Gown Preservation Co.
How does this work? Here, you're going to have to lift it up and show him. I think it has to be.
Whoa.
It's just, you can see the front. Is it?
Here, watch
it's
this.
not too yellow. So that's good. Can you take it out? It's supposed to be preserved for 100 years. Yeah.
Wow, look at that.
There it is. There she is. She's right here in our storage room.
Crazy.
That's insane.
That's
There's the veil.
unbelievable.
All the
Oh,
sparkles.
yeah, on the top.
Yep. Crazy, isn't it? It's a little yellowed, but I
Is
think
it
that's
really?
what happens. Just barely. But it's not severely.
Wow.
So pretty. So we'll save it because it's like, what, an heirloom or something? But I don't know. We'll see if the girls want to wear it. No pressure, girls. No pressure. Apparently, they're not getting married. Felicity's like, I'm not getting married. So she's at that stage where she just randomly says it.
Well, that's good. I'm glad at 6 she's not.
I'm glad.
We're
but
not in a
I
rush.
think she just hears like somebody's having their wedding, and then she's like, well, I'm not getting married.
Yeah, I'm not getting married.
I like it.
Yeah, I remember. Well, actually, what the next scene I want to look at is from the moment I saw you for the first time.
I want you to watch that now. You
So-
react.
Look at this. This is the moment of you walking down the aisle.
That's crazy. Look at you. Man, we're such babies.
In other words, I've got a lot of gray hair since then.
No, we just had
I
baby
remember that
faces.
moment like it was yesterday.
That's crazy.
So we didn't do a first look. So
No.
I hadn't seen you until this moment.
No, just walking
And
down
literally
the aisle.
in that moment, I'm thinking, don't ugly cry. James Song had told me right before I went out, Jeremy, whatever you do, don't ugly cry.
Don't ugly cry.
Wow.
Oh,
What a
my
moment.
word. So sweet.
Long train.
Very long train. I got stuck coming off of the stage.
Look at that. Wow.
That's
Crazy.
insane.
That was a special moment.
Yeah.
I
Were you
remember-
glad that we did that first look walking down? Or
Yeah.
would you have changed it?
No, I've never thought about that, but I wouldn't change it. I like that moment being the first time I saw you.
I love that.
It's funny doing weddings now, like officiating a lot of weddings. You see a lot of different reactions,
Yeah.
and it's just that is a moment you'll remember forever
Yeah.
of seeing your bride walk down the aisle, the bride's entrance, and seeing her in her gown. Whether you do a first look or not, it is so special. Because all these thoughts are running through your head because you've thought about that life commitment for a long time. You know, you thought about, what marriage is going to be like and committing your life to someone. And then, so there's this surreal moment of, hey, this is happening right now. Like, unlike very many other moments in your life where you can remember, because there's moments we remember and look back on as
That
sort
were
of,
significant. Yeah.
yeah, but that's one where you're going to be looking back on it and it's significant. And there's not a lot of those where you're thinking, this is the moment I will remember for the rest of my life.
It's crazy.
And so it's so planned. That moment is so planned. And so there's a surrealness to it. And when you walked in, I just thought, she's incredible. She's beautiful.
Oh.
But yeah, that was just the beginning.
Was. I think, yeah, it was a crazy moment. Like, just there's so many things that are running through your head. Don't trip. Don't trip. I kept thinking that because my dress was so heavy too. Like,
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I say heavy, like it was long. And so it felt like, I mean, when you're walking down over carpet, it's like getting pulled from behind you.
Yeah.
And so it was an interesting thing. So I was like, okay, just like, we got it. But with, I was holding on to my dad's arm, so I wasn't going to like fall. But I don't know. Like, I kept thinking about all of that. But then just seeing you there, that was the sweetest moment. And you were crying. And I was like, I feel like I rarely see you cry. And I think it's just special moments, things like that will come up and you tear up. And I'm like, oh, that's the sweetest thing. So
I don't know
you,
what
like,
it is
cry.
about wanting to see me cry. Felicity will always say, she has told me probably 15 times, Dad, I've never seen you cry. And I
Probably,
said,
you know why? Because I cry all the time, especially in pregnancy. It's terrible. I'll be fine, and then I'm like crying. And I think that's why she sees me cry so much that even if she did see you cry,
yeah.
she'd be like, you never cry.
And I told her, you'll see me
You
cry
don't
one
cry
day.
that often.
You'll see me cry probably, I don't, maybe when she
Sweet
graduates
thing.
high school or something.
But
Or
yeah,
who knows? I mean,
you're just not like a big crier.
yeah. Well,
yeah,
I'm
which
also,
I like. You're steady Eddie, which I like.
Well,
I like that about you.
That's not entirely true because I can cry at movies. Like, I get gripped by good storytelling, and I know I'm a sucker for it. So, there's an arc to a story, right?
That's true.
And they know where they're going to pull you and pull on your heartstrings, and I can't help it. I'm bought in. So if the director pulls on my heartstring, it's like I'm queued up. I am their demographic that they're going. The audience is going to cry now. I'm like, shoot, but I will never admit it, except I just did. But in the moment, I will just kind of do that. Oh man,
Yeah.
and then just
I've
you
seen that a few
breathe it out. You breathe it out, and you don't actually let the tear ducts open and like the tears to drop. You just gotta.
Wow,
keep
that's
'em
like
in.
a lot of thought.
Yeah,
Keep
no,
you
there's
from
an art
crying.
to it. There's an art to trying to
Wow.
maintain your masculinity.
I wish I could do that. Pregnancy, does it work? Come on.
Yeah, crazy. All right, here's a funny moment from our wedding. You ready for it? All right, remember this?
Oh yeah, our unity candle.
Yeah.
I remember our unity candle. Do you remember our unity candle?
Almost a disaster.
My word. So
Paige CXVI singing Come Thou Fount. It's beautiful.
okay, that was great. So she's like up there playing this, our favorite song together. And it was great. They were extra careful because they did not want us to burn down the chapel. Out comes the lighter. The blue lighter. How romantic.
It's amazing that you remembered the lighter was there or knew the lighter was there. I had no idea it was
And
there.
then I asked somebody, do you blow out the side ones? And they're like, yes. Because they didn't even tell me what to do. And I was just, yeah. Oh, I asked Jess. I was like, do you blow these out on stage? And she's like, duh, yeah.
Imagine we lit the main candle then.
Walk away. That's so funny. Yeah,
So-
like I literally look over at Jess. I'm like, do I blow this out?
There was a moment of panic there.
Okay, so what happened was the wedding coordinator, her husband was helping out because they were talking about, since it's such an old chapel, they're like, we have candles everywhere. We want to make sure that we don't burn this beautiful chapel down. So he decided to like zip tie or wire tie them to the base, both of the unity candles that we're supposed to pick up. And they were not small ones, they were big. So that's actually interesting. They were full size. Usually you use small ones.
Right.
But for some reason they were big, which is fine. But he like zip tied those things so tight on there to where we could not get them out. We were like pulling the thing that was sitting on the base. It was just wobbling.
But what's
with it.
funny is, speaking to him afterwards, he was up in the balcony
He was
watching
stuck.
this happening and going, oh, shoot.
And he, like, there's nothing you can do at that point. He is
Yeah.
like it would have taken him 5 minutes to get down there to us, you know, or
Or
to like
yell down.
motion or to like, there's a lighter. So we happened to see, thankfully, somebody had left a lighter right behind. And we used this like, you know, like blue, ugly lighter. And we did it. We lit it together.
But you found it. I wouldn't have.
I think I was like looking for some solution because it was not,
quick
there
problem
was
solver.
nothing that was going to
I was just
Change that
going to try to yank the candles out.
light the stage on fire.
It is funny in that moment. You think through a unity candle, like we hadn't even thought about it. It's a unity candle. You light the candle, but then blowing out the two side ones, like we hadn't thought about it. And so
No.
you're sitting there going, oh,
And I've watched
It's such
so
a
many
basic-
weddings. I've
Yeah.
watched so many. And now like I feel like maybe coming out of wedding season, I would be so refreshed on all that.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I've been to so many weddings and I should have known what to do. But in that moment, it's like, oh yeah, didn't think about that. Do I blow this out? Yep, you blow out the side candles because two are becoming one.
that's it.
That's why. Yeah.
That's the other tradition. Some of your family did other traditions, right? Like Jessa and
Jess,
Ben did the sand.
Yeah.
What did Jill and Derek do?
What did Jill and Derek do? I don't remember.
There's different elements in the wedding that some of your family's done, like have the parents come up and pray together.
Yeah, I think that's sweet.
We went down to your mom and my mom and gave flowers, and to my grandma and your grandma. So there was a special moment, which I think is really nice. As I officiate weddings now, and it's, you know, because we serve in college ministry, we're going to a ton of these weddings as college students are graduating, getting married. And it's fun to have them do something that's unique to their wedding, but a special
Bringing
moment.
the family in.
Yeah.
And also, do you remember they had, I think Josie may have had flower petals, right?
Yep.
And then, but Michael, you remember what he had?
Oh yeah, little soccer balls, right?
Soccer balls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was cute.
That was really sweet. It was
Yeah, it
just
was a really well thought
nice
through.
touch.
All of your friends and family who helped really thought through it so well, and they
the
were so
big
kind.
V.
Yeah,
That was insane.
just the little details were
The
remarkable.
flowers behind us.
I
the
remember
big V.
Jason spending
was a lot.
all day putting the vials of water in.
That's the crazy thing. So behind us, there's a big V and it's flowers.
Yep.
It's like white roses or something. And then there's green, like greenery behind, but it was basically like a big wire, piece of like metal, I guess, that they had up behind.
Yeah.
And every single flower they had to stick into a vial of water, every single one. And I think they started the night before and it took them forever to do
Oh, it
it.
was remarkable.
But that was another thing that Miss Cindy,
Yep.
my mom's friend, she did.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Yeah.
All right, last moment I want us to watch.
Okay.
All right, let's watch the moment we become husband and wife.
What God has joined together, let no man separate. For as much as Jeremy and Ginger have covenanted together before this company and have pledged their faithfulness one to the other, symbolizing this by the giving and receiving of rings, I now pronounce them husband and wife. Jeremy, you may kiss your bride.
And then wait for the announcement. This is when we're announced, Mr. and Mrs.
Crazy. Wild.
It is now my happy privilege to present to you Mr. and Mrs. Jeremy Bolo.
This is where I went to go down off the stage.
You got caught.
Got caught.
Jessa ran over, right?
Yeah.
There she is. I remember that.
Saves
Wow.
us. It was because it
Good
was
job,
so
Jess.
long. I didn't want to rip it.
Jessa was a good maid of honor.
She was very good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Crazy, crazy.
So that was
What a
actually,
moment.
that was our first kiss.
Yeah, it was our first kiss. I've heard of some couples say like, "Oh, well, we actually kissed before."
Yeah,
We
that was
didn't.
our first kiss.
Yep, that was our first kiss. And yeah, it was sweet seeing your dad too. Like, what a sweet moment. Your dad got to marry us.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was awesome.
That was special for him.
That was so good.
He enjoyed it. He had a lot of fun doing that ceremony.
He did really well.
Yeah. I picked down his tie and his suit for him.
That's your favorite part. You
Yeah,
picked out all
That's the only thing I had to do.
You picked out all the suits for the groomsmen for yourself.
You'll notice my brother Chuck had a wardrobe malfunction. His pants were like crazy short. And so 8 years later, I'm calling him out for it. But yeah, they're like high waters.
Oh no, poor Chuck.
But each suit was like made for each guy.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason,
that just stinks though, because those suits were so nice to not be able to rewear it.
No, I think he can. I think he
could have let the hem out.
Yeah, I let the hem out.
Oh,
but I mean, the day of it was too late. But so he's up there with the high waters, just hanging out on stage. But I told him, well,
that's so
he's
funny.
fine. He doesn't care.
I didn't even notice that. That's so you thing to notice though.
Yeah.
You're very good with suits and all of that, knowing the cut, the fit, if it comes too low.
Well, it was my only responsibility.
Your only assignment. Yeah, that's true.
So I couldn't even get that right. Gosh.
Almost.
But what a life-changing moment. That's when you became Mrs. Volo.
Crazy. Insane.
It's a lot of fun. So
much fun.
Would you have changed anything?
Yes.
What?
Probably shouldn't say.
Say it.
Okay, a couple things. So I think that looking back, I would say that for the time that we had at our reception, it was too short.
Way too short.
Way too short. So I would have started the wedding should have been earlier in the day, or we should have done a first look. I loved it when we were walking, I was walking down the aisle and you got to see me, and it was such a sweet moment. But we also missed out on time with friends and family who traveled so far because we rushed that. And we literally didn't, I don't remember. It was so fast and so hectic. We didn't get any of our wedding cake after the bite that we fed each other. Mm-hmm. We didn't get any of the food, any things like that.
So we would have reorganized made it earlier.
Shifted things.
Yeah.
Other things, I would have hired a professional hair and makeup person.
Yeah.
Little things like that, right?
I would have served a meal. I think we had great food. We had a bunch of tables.
Yeah.
Like charcuterie and different things.
Would have been expensive with 1,200 people.
Yeah, but you got to do it. You got to serve a meal. Yeah. If people are coming, they're not, because it's been 2 hours since they've been able to eat anything before. It'll be another couple hours till they're able. You got to serve a meal.
So true.
So unless you're going to do a real quick wedding, in and out.
I love weddings that have meals.
Yeah, it's great.
About it. It's so sweet.
Because you don't have to worry about it, especially with kids. You're not thinking, how do we got to feed our kids? You can kind of just
and if you're on a date, if you're out as just a couple on a date, then it's really sweet and special.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Man, that was a lot of fun. Looking back is wild. I think it is incredible to see how much we've grown and how much we've changed.
So much.
In some ways.
Oh, my word. It's crazy.
Yeah. Remarkable. And then to look back and see who was there.
Oh, yeah. It's wild.
We had a lot of guests at that wedding. Some we knew, some we didn't.
A lot we didn't know.
It's funny. The recent weddings of your siblings have been a lot smaller.
They have. They've been more intimate and really perfect in a lot of ways. I love it.
Yeah. You just get to spend a lot more quality time with people and really celebrate with the people that, not that you don't care about, everyone who's there has a special connection. But it's also
your special day of you get to connect with, like you said, those you love the most, and
you want it to feel intimate.
Most. And so that's where, I feel like the recent weddings have been super sweet.
Yeah, for sure. What shoes were you wearing on your wedding? Do you remember?
Oh, my word. Yes. So before, when we were doing some of the pictures with the bridesmaids and all, I had these super bright floral shoes.
Oh yeah, I remember those.
And they were really cute, but they were the wrong size. And I, for some reason, got them and maybe didn't try them on. And rookie mistake, didn't know what I was doing, even with heels. I would wear heels here and there, but I would do wedges more often. So I got these heels that were digging into my foot. So by the time I took a couple photos, I realized I'm not even going to walk down the aisle in these, or I'm going to be hurting.
Yeah.
So I set those aside, and I used I had a platform wedge sandal that was like the same height as what I had tried on my wedding dress with. That way it was the right length.
Yeah.
And so I just threw those on last minute, and they were super ugly for a wedding. But I was like, they're under the dress.
Yeah, they're
You're
hidden.
not going to see them.
Yeah.
So I just wore them down, wore them out. And then when we did photos, that's when I threw them back on. Was just for a couple pictures. Then back in the box they went.
Wow. I like it.
Yeah.
What a fun day.
It was so fun. Good
And
memories.
Yeah, great memories. And it's all recorded there.
It's all there.
Some of it, I wish it wasn't.
Yeah.
Other
Showed our
parts
girls
are
the other
really
day.
sweet,
I
though.
showed the girls.
Did you really? The
it
whole
was on-
thing?
I showed them. No, I couldn't find the whole thing the other day. It was on our anniversary. On the
Oh, okay.
morning of
Yeah.
our anniversary, I was telling him about our anniversary,
Yeah.
and Felicity's like, "Wait, what's an anniversary again?" So I showed her the video. It was
Maybe
like a
we'll let 'em
5-minute
watch it
video.
tonight.
That would be cute. It was like a 5-minute video of our wedding on YouTube or something.
Okay.
And she was like, "Oh, there's Aunt Jessa. Who is that again?" She's like, "Is that Josie?" She was like trying to pick out my siblings.
Yeah, that's so funny.
It was cute.
That's awesome.
Oh, and then she was so upset she wasn't there. That was the thing. I don't know if I
Oh,
told you
no
that. She
way.
was so bothered. She's like, "But Mom, why couldn't I be at your anniversary, at your wedding?" And she's like, "You already get to have your anniversary today, but why couldn't I be there?" I was like, "Yeah,
I'll
you
explain
weren't
that to you in
there."
a couple of years.
It was really cute.
We'll have that talk in a few
Yeah,
years.
she's
Let's
like,
see.
"But Josie was there."
That's so funny.
Yeah, she was really sad that she was not at her wedding.
That's crazy.
I was dying. I was like, did I text Jeremy that or not? Like, I usually text you all the funny things
Oh yeah,
she says
throughout
in
the
the
day,
day.
it's
But
fun. What if we
Yeah.
did a renewal? Are you into vow renewals or no?
I feel like we've already done it. Like, we don't need to renew.
Right. Yeah, we said
I
it
mean,
once.
I'm all about like going on a trip for celebrating. So I think that's what we should do.
Okay.
That's where
So
we
you're
should
not
spend
into
the
the vow
money.
renewal, like redoing a ceremony?
No, I mean, some people do it for different reasons, and it can be sweet, maybe. But I'm not like, I don't feel like we need.
Yeah,
to
I've
do
never
that.
had a.
I've never had a
to do it.
desire to do that.
But I was just thinking if Felicity wanted to attend the wedding. we
She
could-
wants to attend our wedding.
Yeah, that's funny. No, we're one and done. We said yes.
Yeah.
I do. I will.
Yeah,
Locked and loaded.
we're good to go.
I love you. Glad I married
Love you too.
Thanks for
Me
marrying
too.
me.
Thanks for
All right.
marrying me.
Well, that was fun. And you know what we didn't even talk about, which I guess we could right now, is in that chapel or in the chapel, you had these massive, what are they called for the TV? These 60-foot,
Jib.
the jibs. And you've got all around like Secret Service agents dressed in all black or the
They were
cameramen.
not. They were not Secret Service agents.
No, but they look like it. They're just all in black, and they're positioned like high up in the chapel, and you just ignore them.
they were on the stage.
Like, you don't
too.
even notice
There were
them.
like 2 or 3 on the stage.
Yeah, and then this massive jib is just going side to side through the auditorium, and as we're like sitting there in this intimate moment, this 60-foot jib, 2 of them on each side, maybe 3, are just like revolving around, and it was just.
It's funny though. I think because at some point, like when you have the cameras there, like you're
Mm-hmm.
not paying attention to them. That's how it's been for all of your life. And then, but for others, like coming in who weren't used to it, that probably would have been like uncomfortable.
Right.
Not the norm. Maybe.
Yeah, but we didn't even think about it. And then you have the crew, and then you have microphones all over the stage on the floor, picking everything up. I totally forgot about that aspect.
But I'm thankful that it's filmed very well because that is
Yeah,
a treasure.
it is a
Like
treasure,
it is
yeah.
so nice. Like I'm glad that
I might
we were
voice.
able to have that.
I might do a voiceover, like dub my voice out and talk normal,
Right.
so it's not so like.
I like that. And then just
high-pitched.
put it up on YouTube for everyone.
Yeah, do a voice. Like I'll say everything I was saying, but I'll just say it not
In a better
sounding-
voice.
Yeah, not sounding so dumb.
I like it. That's
It's
great.
funny in that moment. There's 1,200 people there, and it was going to be on national TV, and I didn't think about any of that. I was just locked in on you. Still am. All right, love you. Thanks for marrying me. Hey guys, thanks for hanging out. Like, subscribe, leave reviews. You got anything? You got anything to say?
Let
to
us
people?
know what we should talk about because we like to come up with ideas, but we're not always the best at coming up with ideas. So topics, guests that you want us to have on too.
Oh
We
yeah,
will
I
do a
think
few
Mo.
of
We had our
those,
first guest. She was awesome.
But yeah, just let us know. All the things. We'll see you next time.
See ya.